Okay, so I said we were going to start chapter 1 right away, and it's going to take us quite a long time, actually, to finish chapter 1. And you will have to look at some of these videos at home, so you be prepared to spend up to an extra 2 or 3 hours per week doing watching the videos and doing some homework yourself. Otherwise, we won't get through the course. Okay. Okay, so here's the spreadsheet for chapter 1. So I thought I'd spend a little time explaining what it looks like to you. So in this chapter, the author of our book is going to go to his he has some other books that he's selling and these are basically the books that he's selling, and he wants to check his sales ranking at Amazon regularly, and he's basically going to check it every hour, and then he wants to collect that data every hour and keep it on this spreadsheet. Okay, let's look at his website. I think we can find it. So if I do this and go to here, this is our book, but here's the author. So we can get it going. So here's his predictive analytics, but here's his statistical analysis book. So this is the this is what he's referring to, I believe, here. Stats. I don't know why it's called R, but anyway, it's his statistics book. What is it called? Statistical Analysis Microsoft. Okay. So he wants to go to this page, and he wants to find the Amazon bestsellers rank. So currently his ranking is this. So he would therefore record this, like if he'd every hour he's going to pick this number up. So you know, if he did it right at this moment, it would be this number. So this can change over time. So going back to the spreadsheet, apparently on this date at this time, which is here, you can see the AM there, his ranking was 343138, and then on the next time it was this. Now actually these are not his actual rankings. I just I don't have his actual rankings, so I just made up this data basically. But suppose that was the case. Okay, so this is another book, and this is another book. And also, sometimes in the text he'll refer to the fact that maybe this is the Kindle version of his book. Anyway, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter too much. Sometimes he'll say, well, you know, there's two versions of the book. There's the paperback version, and there's the Kindle version. So those are different numbers. So, okay, so we have these numbers here at these different times, and these are the sales ranking. But he said he's not really interested in the sales ranking. He really is interested in, I'm sorry, he's not really interested in the ranking. He's really interested in the sales. How many books did he sell? So he says Amazon doesn't tell him that, unfortunately. There's no public information. Amazon seems to hide that. I mean, I guess they must tell him how many books he's sold over the month or something like that, but they don't tell him every moment or exactly when it's sold. So he might be interested in knowing when it's sold. You know, there was a book sold just now, there was a book sold, you know, 5 hours ago, whatever. So, but Amazon doesn't say that. So his idea is, okay, maybe from the sales rank, he can kind of guess when a book was sold. So presumably he gets a better sales ranking when he sells a book. That's the whole point of the sales ranking. So what does it mean that he gets a better sales ranking? Of course, that means what? That the sales ranking gets lower, right? You would like your sales rank to be #1 on Amazon. You'd like to be the best-selling book, #1 best-selling book on Amazon. So you would like it to be lower. So so he wants to check when the sales ranking gets lower, but how much lower does it have to get in order to mean that he sold a book? Because there are other factors that affect the sales ranking, and obviously it's how other people are selling their books, right? So just because the sales ranking increases or decreasing does not mean that you sold a book. It could mean that other people didn't sell books or did sell books or whatever. So you can't be sure, first of all. And also his question is, well, how much of a change should there be in the sales ranking in order for him to say that he sold a book? So if his sales ranking is 100 and it goes down to 50, that's very different than if it's here and it drops by 50, right? That's not, from here dropping by 50 is not very significant. But if you're at 100 and you drop by 50, it's much more significant, right? You must have sold something to go from 100 to 50th, right? Whereas if you were at this number and you got, what, 50, take off 50 from here, that's going to give you, like, I don't know, some little bit smaller number. That's not going to be very significant. That doesn't necessarily mean that you sold a book. So his point is that it should be the percentage change from 1 hour to the next, not the absolute change. So 50 is not meaningful. But if you go from 100 to 50, that means you dropped by 50, then your percentage change is 50%, right? Which is very big. So what he settles on is, he says, okay, if my percentage change is 10%, then I will say I sold a book. And if it's less than 10%, I won't. I'll say I haven't sold a book, even though the sales ranking might have dropped. It didn't drop enough, percentage-wise, to indicate that I've sold a book. Okay, so that's the idea, and we'll go through that again later. But over here, that's what you see here. So, for example, here, look at the change. It was from here to here. So that's a big change. That's going to be definitely much bigger than a 10% change. A 10%, yeah. So, in that case, we're going to have a 1 here, and I'll talk about this formula again later. But this is the formula that checks whether it's 10% or not. And then here, it didn't change at all, for example. So no, he didn't sell a book. So that's 0 here. No book was sold. So 1 if a book was sold, and 0 if not. And he's only considering that he'll only sell, the maximum, I guess he's saying he can sell is 1 book for per hour. He's not expecting he makes a comment in the book. He says, statistics books are not like some best-selling novel, right? Not everybody, it's not a really popular thing, and so he doesn't really expect to sell 50 books in an hour. He might sell 1 book in an hour. Anyway, you can see that this is just an estimate, and my hope is that you will learn how we did this, how he did this, how he collected this data, and how he is collecting this data every hour, and that you will be able to modify it so that you can also make your own collector for some other website, for some other items that are changing every hour or every minute or whatever, and you can collect this data. And I want you to begin to do this as soon as we learn how to do it. You should start collecting the data so that you, by the end of the semester, will have a lot of data, even before the end of the semester, by say the middle of the semester, you will have a lot of data to analyze. Okay, that's the idea. So, although you're going to also work in a final project, so maybe you'll be doing it together with a group, but nonetheless, you should learn the technique. Okay, over here, he has, this is just a very simple thing. It's just I'll go through it again, but over here, this is just the best ranking of, for in this column, what was the best number. Well, best means obviously lowest, so what was the lowest number? Okay, now we have a lot of data here actually, but as I said, I basically made up this data. But anyway, I'll share this sheet with you as well. And over here, he has the number of books that was sold altogether, the total. You can see that he uses the sum function. And we'll go through all of this again. Down here at the bottom, or not the bottom, but near the bottom, we have some more stuff here. We're going to learn how to do this, but I'll just give you the basic idea here. This stands for May, June, July, August, up to December. These are the month numbers. And what we do here is we make a formula. I spend a lot of time later on explaining this to you, but maybe I didn't need to spend as much time as I will, but I did. But anyway, so this is just basically going back here to, this would be May, so finding May. We're going to actually take all the data. This is for the statistics book. That's for this first column here. Remember, the first column is the statistics book, the paperback version of the statistics book. And so, and these here are the date and time. So what he's going to do here is, this number is just a summation of the total number of books he sold in May. And this is just a sum for the statistics paperback book. And this is just a summation of the total number of books he sold in June for the statistics. And this is like for the next book, whatever that was, for June. And this was for the next book. Oh no, sorry, this is the total. Anyway, so this is how many he sold of the statistics book in June, July, August. And I go through how to get these numbers using this formula up here, and I spend a lot of time explaining it. Probably didn't need to spend that much time. This column here is just the sum of these two, so 254 plus 254 is 508, and so on. So that's the total number of books that he sold. If this was the paperback and this is the Kindle, then he sold 508 total in May, and he sold 548 in total in June, and so on. And that's basic. Oh, and then here, now we will talk about this shortly, but this page down, this sheet down here has basically what we learn to do is we go to that website, which is here, go to this website, and we just get a copy of all the text in the entire page here. So all of it, everything. We get all of it all the way down to the end. And that is in this page here. Okay, so it's the text. So you'll see how to do that. And that's you can do that easily in Excel. And then all you have to do, once you've downloaded that data, all you have to do is find the place where the ranking is. So let's do a search. And it's basically what we do, but we do it using coding. So I want to look for, let's look for rank, or is it ranking? I'm not sure. Okay, there. So we just do basically in code, we just do what I just did, which was find, and then we get this cell here, and then we need to strip out the other, we need to strip out this, and we need to strip out this, and then we have this number, and then we paste that number into here. These are the rankings. So we're just doing that repeatedly. Okay? So I do spend a lot of time explaining how to do this, but But you do need to be able to do it yourself, and you do need to be able to modify it so that you can do it on another website and collect your own data. Okay, so just as a quick review, this section over here, he refers to it in a certain part of the text. As I said, we use what's called an array formula. It's in here to get the total for May, for June, for July, and so on. And there are other ways to do this, but you'll learn about the array formula, which is a good thing to learn. And over here we have the date and the ranking, and maybe this is the ranking for the Kindle book or whatever. I guess I might have called this Kindle instead, but anyway, I tried to follow what he had in the text. Anyway, and then we use this kind of formula here to guess whether a book was sold or not based on the change in the ranking. If the ranking has gotten better, which means decreased enough, then we'll say a book was sold in that hour. Okay? And that's basically what this spreadsheet is about. Okay, I'll stop here, and you can continue with the next video.